I was with my reserve unit, and I got called into the office about going in support with a infantry unit, because I was prior infantry, to Kuwait. So I said, all right, I didn't know anybody. They were all active duty. I was a reservist, but they needed my expertise and also because of my rank, I was a convoy commander. Well, I got there and I explained to them who I was, where I came from, that I was infantry at one time like they were, but now I'm in the aviation field. So anyway, long story short, we get there and our job is to do convoys from Kuwait to Baghdad with anywhere from 3 to 4 18-wheelers. We had 2 Humvees up front, 2 center, 2 rear, and we all carried 50 cals. We had 50 cals on each Hummer, plus our own weapons. And that was an ongoing thing for a whole year. We go to Baghdad, drop off supplies, medical, ammunition, food, whatever, everything that they needed. After that, we'll come back, rest a couple of days. There was a unit they were from the 4th ID, they were Army. They did the same thing, we rotated. And that was for one whole year. And during the process of, going and coming, sometimes we encountered attacks throughout the desert, and we just had to do what, we did what we had to do, call air support if we needed it. A lot of times we encounter IEDs, and my job was to call EOD, and I'm like, I haven't got time for that. So I would send one of my Humvees up, I said, blow it out of the sky. They hit it, blow it up, we keep on going. I get back to my unit, the colonel wants to see me. So, what's up, sir? Protocol. Protocols, when to call EOD, they come and, destroy the IED. I said, sir, I'm gonna sit out there for a whole hour, 2 hours for them to get there. I said, we ain't got time for that. I said, what happens if we get ambushed? Anyway, long story short, he would get mad, kick me out of his office, and I go about my day. So that was my first tour. And then when I went with my second tour, I went with my aviation unit. It was this Marine Support Air Wing 471 was the unit that I was with. And we flew combat missions, dropping off grunts into hot spots, picking up grunts at hot spots, picking up fallen heroes, which was guys that were killed in the line of duty, whether they were Army, Navy, didn't matter. Our mission was to go pick them up, bring them, put them into the chopper, and take them to the Casevac, which is where they prepared them to send them back to Dover. And I did that for 18 months. We were supposed to be there just a year. The unit that was going to relieve us got held up. So they says, guess what, guys? We're here for another 6 months. I'm like, what? No way. But so that was my job on my second tour. The first tour I was there 2003 to 2004, and my second tour I was there 2006 to 2007. So I was infantry on my first tour, and back with my aviation unit on my second tour. But the big difference from the ground and the sky, big difference. And when you're on the ground, you deal with people, surprising you with, in the desert, it's out there. During the day, it's hot. At night, it's cold. And you're traveling. We always would try to travel during the day because it's more visible. But sometimes it didn't work out that way. And then, you always encountered something. You got hit, from the front, from the back, from the sides. And then on the aviation side, when we were flying, my biggest, I guess, scares was the RPGs getting hit, on the helicopter. Because when you get hit, helicopters is not like an airplane. An airplane, if it gets hit, it can still glide. When a helicopter gets hit, it's like a rock. You get hit and it falls straight down. Ain't no maneuvering a helicopter. It's just gonna drop like a rock. And one of my good friends, it was a helicopter pilot with the Army. That's what happened to them. They were flying a Black Hawk, and they got hit from both sides with RPGs. Nobody survived. Everybody died. And like I said, he was a good friend of mine that I knew from back home, but he was from Round Rock, Texas. A friend of mine, and I wear a bracelet for him. Excuse me. His name was Captain Sean Lowerly, and he died January 20th, 2003. I miss the guy. As far as when I first went into the Marine Corps, I wasn't in any battles on active duty. I didn't do mine until after I got out and went into the reserve unit, because I did 10 years active duty. I wanted to stay in. Other things turned out where it was best for me just to move on, so I did. But I said, well, I'm not going to throw them away, so I joined an aviation unit, Marine aviation unit, and did the rest of my years. And while I was there, I ended up going to Iraq twice. So, but my first 10 years of active duty, it was all just training. And 5 years of infantry and 5 years of aviation, and then got out and went into the aviation reserve unit. And that's how I ended up going to Iraq twice. Otherwise, I probably would have never saw combat. But I wanted to finish my career. I wanted to retire. So that's what I did. Plus, I also retired from the civilian side on the government side. So I guess in the long run, God had a plan for me, and it worked out.